Thanks, buddy. We're live. Oh, he just went right for it. Look at this guy diving right in. Cheers, guys.
Pass on shooter bucks, because that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag. You hunt how you want.
It's very anticlimactic. They just touch and there's no sound. Just touching cans.
They used to clink when we were drinking scotch.
It's been a while since I've done that.
We haven't done that in months.
I don't know. You got a long drive back home, and
you guys keep moving the studio further and further away from me. Thanks a lot.
It's true, we do. Yeah, but it's closer to your hunting area, maybe, unless you change that again this year. You probably did.
The areas are just all over now.
This is a little bit out in the sticks for a studio.
It is. It's cheap though.
Rent is cheaper.
It's affordable. We can afford this. We were in Oconomowoc before in a different spot, and it was not as nice, and it was more expensive.
I would imagine.
So, and that wasn't even great. It was just.
It worked for what it was.
Yeah.
It worked fine.
We just did that seminar this last weekend, and that was really pretty exciting for us. We've never been able to do anything like that before. I've been getting asked and asked. We finally did it, and I don't know. It happened. This space could hold it. The other space would have been weird.
Better than dragging strangers down in Eric's basement past all the litter boxes.
Yeah.
Cats.
I don't know. Gus lost bladder control, or somebody's been pissing everywhere. It's gotten worse.
That's just fucking cats.
Not your kid, Gus. My cat, Gus. Anyway, we have Dan Infalt here with us, which I'm excited about. You've been on the show way back when it was Where to Hunt, which is many years ago now. I think you were in my previous home basement at the bar once.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a while ago, because my daughter, I think, would have been, my wife may have still been pregnant at that point, or maybe my daughter was just born. It was somewhere in that duration of time, because we bought the house because we were expecting our first kid.
No.
And she's going to be 9 in like a couple of days. So,
that's a while back.
That's a while back.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've been doing the podcast under this name since 2020, somewhere in the middle of 2020, right in the peak of all the crazy shit that was going on. And now we're here. So anyway, you've been up north baiting for bear or scouting for bear. What's going on with that?
I've been having a pretty hectic few weeks. I mean, I've been shows every week, and I got roped into a couple of shows I didn't know I was doing.
Ah, crap.
That's nice.
Kind of told promised I'd do them, and I don't remember any promises.
The surprise promise.
So I haven't had any weekends off. I had one weekend off, and it was my wife's anniversary, so I kind of kissed her ass.
Yeah,
you know. And then I dove straight into bear baiting, straight from the Massachusetts hunt stock.
Okay.
The next weekend I'm bear baiting, and bear baiting is a little tough because I'm baiting in Minnesota, and it's a 7.5 hour one-way ride.
That's far.
And then the bears eat so much up there, and you're trying to bait them for a week. There's no limit like in Wisconsin with how much bait. So I give them what will hold them for a week. So I'm putting, 12, 15 5-gallon buckets of bait at a spot. Some of those spots are half mile back.
Are you able to just spread it out there, or do you have to contain it in some sort of like logs or?
I don't think they have a law on it, but I contain it anyways because otherwise the wolves and everything get right in.
Raccoon, everything's going to take it.
Well, there's no raccoons up there. You're too far north.
Because the wolves are eating them all.
They're actually too far north for raccoons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's no oak trees,
I suppose.
Yeah, it's we're right on the Canadian border up there.
This would be a squirrel moment, but were you kind of raising a raccoon for a minute?
Well, I kind of run around my
I kept seeing a lot of photos of you with a raccoon. I was like, Dan's not using AI. That's a real fucking raccoon. What's going on here?
Yeah, that one was orphaned. A tree fell and its family died. One of those storms we had a while back.
Okay.
And my wife has a license to rehab.
Wow.
But I just took it home. I've been feeding it, and it hangs out in the yard and runs off, comes back. It's starting to come back a little less now.
That's good.
But I would go outside and just go, come on. And he'd just come running out of the swamp, run right up me, sit on my shoulder.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's still around. I visited with him today.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. My wife's got a cool name for him. She calls him Asshole.
They are kind of assholes.
They keep trying to break into the house to find me.
They're thieves.
Yeah.
I remember it was
he raids my pockets.
They're nuts.
I'll be sitting there. He'll be crawling around on me, and I'm just ignoring him. And all of a sudden, I see him like dragging my pocket knife down the driveway. I'm like, hey! And then as soon as I notice, and he knows I know, he tries running with it. Yeah.
I remember there's some girl one of my buddies dated when they were like, I don't know, in high school or shortly thereafter, and we were in their hot tub, and she this is a good time, right? We're in the hot tub, this girl, it's all fun times. Well, she had like a rehabbed raccoon that her family had taken care of. And she lived in the sticks. And my one buddy's in the hot tub, and he's like, dude, the freaking raccoon stole my keys to my car.
Yep.
From my shorts out of my pocket that were sitting over there. And so like it was a whole hunt for keys for a long time. I'm like, there you are, you're sitting with this girl and the raccoon steals your freaking keys. It's almost like it was planned.
Well, it's cool when they can do so much stuff. Like raccoons are freaking nimble with their hands,
Probably
stealing
one of the women
pocket
that don't
knives.
want you leaving. She's got them trained. She's got them
Steals
trained.
keys.
Oh, you're stranded here.
Got a lot creepier all of a sudden.
Forever.
All of a sudden, I'll hear the banjo.
Good work, asshole.
Yeah, asshole. That's pretty funny. Well, you sent me a photo of a bear that looked to be very large. I've never hunted bears.
Yeah,
so
that's a crazy looking bear. It's got a blonde mane. Did you see the mane?
Yeah,
on it? That long blonde hair.
It looked like a pig in the backside because the hair
crazy.
it was really weird.
And just the deformed body, that big, the way its fat was and stuff.
Yeah.
He came in on last Thursday, and he came in like 3 times, and then I baited Friday, and I haven't seen him since. Which is pretty common. They bug out on your scent. I'm hoping he comes back. Some of the bears are a little more tolerant than others, but we got huge bears hitting this year. We got 5 really big bears on the baits. We got 9 baits for 3 people.
Okay.
And one of them, I think, is Boone and Crockett for sure.
Wow.
It's got a snout that looks like it's this long because the head is so big.
Wow.
And you mentioned there's really no oak trees up there. So like as far as competition for food, like here in Wisconsin, you get a bumper acorn crop and the bears can kind of leave your bait for a bit. Is there any like issues with?
You know what? A lot of that's bullshit.
Just,
there's a little of that's true, but you go to an outfitter and every time it's right on opening day, the acorns drop.
Oh, that's their
And
excuse?
what it really is that bears are really sensitive to smell. And if you put another new scent in there, you take your client in there, you show him the spot, he sets up a camera, he sets up a stand, that bear is going nocturnal, or he's leaving completely. They don't get to be 20 years old in a place like Wisconsin or Minnesota without living on baits. And how do they get that old without dying? They're circling those baits, they're smelling to see if you're there. And anytime there's a new scent, what I do to combat that is I go from point A to point B and back, and I never change that when I bait. So I get them used to my routine, and I make sure that the people who are going to hunt that spot walk in with me and bait. And if they're lazy about it and they're not going to show up till opening day, they're hunting their spots and staying away from mine.
To not introduce their new scent.
Right. And I see it every time I bring somebody to help with me or whatever. You can watch the baits go dead for 3 days. And you watch it with these outfitters and stuff. They'll take the guys to all these spots, and the next day, nobody shoots a bear opening day, and they're like, I don't know. We had 5 of them coming yesterday, but the acorn crop really hit up this year.
The next 4 days aren't looking good on your hunt there, Bob.
Kind of funny. I never have an acorn crop.
How's that for a shirt? The acorns drop. A picture of a fucking bear's ass off in the distance. He's out of here. That's interesting. When is bear season open?
In Minnesota, it opens September 1st.
So when are you trying to go? Right away, or?
Oh yeah, I'll be up there Friday. I'll bait, and I'll try to have that 3 or 4 day range of them to get used to I'm gone before I slide in there.
Okay.
And I find that like 3 days after I bait is about the perfect timing for them to be back calmed down and coming in full.
Yeah.
And if I wait too long, they eat all the good stuff. Like right now, they're literally eating more bait than I could put out. I can't carry enough. I can't drive enough up there. I mean, that bear I was telling you is probably Boone and Crockett. Only him and one other bear. It's also a big bear, but it's not as big as him. Only 2 bears are hitting that bait, and they ate 12 5-gallon buckets in 3 days.
What the?
They just gorge.
I mean, if someone just started leaving chocolate cake here every week, I'm sure it'd be gone.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Could you imagine, us even trying to eat that much bait? The 3 of us.
No,
we couldn't.
you'd be there all day and just
all day. We'd be there for a month to eat that much food.
But like all day, every day, and you'd be just
too.
groaning in pain. Like, I can't do it.
It's pails of compacted cookies. It's pails of compacted nuts, and
it's gone.
Yeah, the leaves will be gone. They'll eat the leaves that taste like it. It'll be
They get
down to
sugared
the
up?
dirt.
Sugar leaves.
Yeah.
What was that? There was a thing a couple years back, Cocaine Bear. It was like a movie, but it was loosely based on a true story because the movie went way out of
Very
control.
loosely.
But it was like, yeah, these planes were dumping drugs in the wilderness, and like bears found the cocaine and got into it.
Nice.
So the movie's called Cocaine Bear.
Maybe you should start baiting with the planes. You don't have to drag 12 freaking buckets of compacted bait. That's a lot of freaking work.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Makes it fun though. Enjoyable. You like that?
Yeah, it's kind of a cool area. I mean, they got no processing up there. They got no nothing. So you have to take care of everything yourself. So we got to take the bear. We got to skin it. We got to butcher it. We haul a freezer with us and a generator on a trailer. Got to fire up the generator, start cutting up the bear right away, get it in the freezer, and then on to the next guy's bear.
So you guys camping out like tents and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an argument because I like camping in the wilderness. Like I said, I'm the youngest guy in the crew now.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other ones are like, I need to be by a bathroom. You're taking away my wilderness experience here.
Look at all the bathroom right here.
Yeah, right.
Go dig a hole. Here's a
It
shovel.
ain't no difference either. It's an outhouse at the
It's
campsite.
worse. You're in like this enclosed box
like
that smells
either
like
way
shit. The
you're
flies and
cut a
spiders.
hole
are
in
Either
their
way,
everywhere.
you're
5-gallon
shitting in the
bucket.
hole.
Yeah. I'd rather
There's
just
your
shit in the
shitter.
open.
Right.
Golden, throw painted gold for them.
Yeah.
What you got to be doing near that? That's interesting. Whitetail season, how's that going for you so far? How's it? Not season, but how are you shaping up into season? Like, I don't know what your routine is. I don't know how much you put into scouting. I feel like
Well, I glass a lot.
Okay.
I've got a lot of stuff scouted from the spring. I have dropped quite a few cameras into areas to pick up deer. And surprisingly enough, other than the random ones, I haven't picked up a lot, but I have one spot that's a new spot that is really overlooked. And I've picked up about 5 shooters on that property.
Okay.
Awesome.
And one of them is an absolute monster.
And are you?
But I'm not getting them a lot.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
getting
I mean,
here and there.
I know you talked about this too. Like you try to put the cameras where the deer are going to be.
Yeah. And this
Not
in that
necessarily anything
case-
you get now is like bonus because you're like, well, I don't care where they are now. I care where they're going to be when I can go kill them.
Right. In this case, I got the camera in a funnel that comes on and off the property into crops.
Okay.
And that's not where I'm going to hunt them.
Right.
I'm going to hunt them near their bedding. I let the camera tell me the buck is there. Then my scouting will tell me where to hunt them. I think you put a camera in a hunting spot and you just slapped a deer in the ass and told them you're coming. You know,
I did that yesterday. Just about.
I analyze
Yeah.
all my past hunts and stuff. I'm, like you look at me and I'm a loose human, like I'm a dirty slob. But when it comes to hunting,
Very
I'm fine
clean.
tuned.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
So
I don't think that way.
I go through my old hunts and I look at, when did I shoot this buck? Was it a first sit? Was it this? Was that? What time was it? What date was it? That kind of stuff. How did I get on it? And when I look at my bucks and I look at the age classes and when I break them down, the bucks that I've shot that are 2 or 3 years old, that are nice younger bucks that you'd shoot them, but they're younger.
Mhm.
They got big racks, but they're younger deer. Those deer have mostly come from funnels, from spots where I've killed bucks in the past, from really good spots. But when you get older than that, they almost always come from, when they get like 4, 5, 6, 7, they come from niche spots, like first time in there and stuff. And the majority of those older deer are the very first sit.
In that weird random spot.
Yes.
Or not random, but you
Yes.
know what I'm saying. Not
Some-
one that you've.
In a lot of the cases, I've scouted the spot, but I scouted in spring when they're not there.
Mhm.
They're in their wintering spots near the food, right? And I'm going in there right after the snow melts and looking at their beds and stuff. But then I'm out of there and I do not come back till hunt time. I don't go check on it, go see if there's a rub or a track. I stay out, and the number is like 65% first sit. And when you get into the next realm of like 75% of them include the second sit.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much a first sit thing. Throwing that camera in there right before hunting season is your first sit.
Oh, I like that.
That's my opinion.
I like that. I think that's a topic that comes up often, not on just this show, but just overall. I mean, first sits are probably the time I'm the most excited to hunt because it's just open opportunity. It's that one where the deer hasn't been educated at all and like anything could happen. And that's where I've not had Success is relative, guys. Okay, but the little bit that I have had, and call it whatever you want, it's been first sit stuff. I think you've had that realization somewhere along the way, which begs the question: why even bother with trail cameras? I think your dad asked you that question.
Yeah.
Because like the deer you got on your first sit, you didn't even have on camera. So you have all this intel for all these years, and then you go and you hunt, and you do your work, you get into a great spot. Maybe it's because of the intel you've had over the years, but that buck wasn't there. But you were, and he was, and you got him. It's like, I don't know what's that all about. It's crazy.
I think it's kind of like those giant bucks get to be 5, 6, 7 years old by finding some niche that's being overlooked in the time frame that they're living.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some spot on that property that everybody's missing, and they kind of get in there, and they're probably in there because they smell no people there, and they grow to their age, and you got to find that niche. So it's basically most of those really big bucks I kill. I look at a property, I'm like, ain't nobody going there, and that's where I go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I kill the bucks.
I did pretty much the opposite of what Dan is suggesting to do yesterday, but I had the morning off. My family was in Wisconsin Dells. My wife's father took them on a little trip. We had some stuff going on this weekend, so they were like, we'll take the kids. You've been with them all summer. So I was like, everybody's gone. I'm going in the woods. I'm going to go scout a new marsh spot. And I went in this spot, had a kind of plan, a route that I wanted to take, and I got way to the back, scouted all the stuff, found some sign, nothing too great. And on my way back out, I'm looking at my map. I'm like, there is a little bit of brush just off this little white oak point. I should go check that. It's like 100 yards out. I'm here. I should go check it. But I was like tired and freaking like shit. Go check it. You're here. There's a trail going out there. I follow the trail, and the wind's kind of blowing from me right to this little pocket of willows. There's like one pocket at the end, real tight, super shady. I walk all the way around it, and I got all the way to the backside. So my wind is already blowing in it. So this deer had already gotten a nose full of me, but he was just waiting. And then I started creeping in to see if there was a bed in there. And that sucker jumped out like here to the picture away. Nice buck, 10-pointer. Jumped out of there, took off, scared the shit out of him, I'm sure. But where his trail came back toward these white oaks, and the white oaks were all loaded with acorns, I found where his trail kind of met up with a couple other ones heading there. So I ripped up the dirt with my boot. I hung a camera in there. I was like, well, I'll be curious to see if he comes back. And then I thought, watch him come back tonight and smell everywhere I went. Sure as shit, he followed my trail that I walked in on right up to where I was. So I was like, oh, yeah, there he is.
Yeah. I'll tell you, too, you say that, when I go out and put trail cameras out, I've noticed that right away, like probably 50% of the cameras, I'll pick up a real big buck.
It's almost like they want to see what was here.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's different. They come through, they look at the camera, they check it out, and then I don't see him again. And I think it's that I hit the right spot, but now that buck ain't coming back. He's seen the camera, he's smelled where I've been, and when they do even come back, who's to say they're not swinging downwind now and checking this?
Right.
Because now they know that there's human scent there.
Yeah.
So I mean, even because I know so many people that get a buck on camera all the time.
Yeah.
Then they go in there and they hunt, and the buck don't show up, and then they leave, and 2 days later it's back on that pattern. They go in there and it's gone again. That buck knows they're there, whether he's monitoring them while they're there or he's scent checking to see if they're there. But once you put your scent there, you're telling them this is a spot you need to watch for because people go there. So they're going to check for you. You know what I mean?
Well, especially if it was a spot that they did feel safe. Like, who's to say, like you just mentioned, like that maybe they're not walking that path right where you have your camera anymore, but they're scent checking your camera area and just skirting around the backside and still there maybe as much, but they're just interacting with it different because they smelled my smelly ass jumping them out of the bed,
Do you ever notice that you can have a camera up for 6 months and deer will still come by and go, it's like, I don't know if they hear it, they smell it, or they see it. I've even put them up in trees and they look in the tree at it, and it's like
they kind of know.
It's almost got like it makes a sound, but I mean, we'd notice it too.
Yeah, but then it's like, well, that doesn't seem like it's causing me any harm, but I see it's there. Like when we had the drone go up when we were tracking that deer a couple years back. Now there were almost all of the deer didn't give a shit about the drone. Some didn't look at it. Some looked up at it and then looked back down. They didn't move. The only deer that gave any shits was the one that was hit, and he took off like a bat out of hell.
Yeah.
Which we're like, in hindsight, oh, that was the deer. Of course it was. So I wonder if they just.
No, they seem buggy. They seem buggy about it. I mean, they don't bolt as much, but I got cameras on video.
Mm-hmm.
I got one in my yard. I never go back there, and I only have it there because
just fun.
Exactly. I rarely get something big. But you get these deer that come in, and the camera's been there forever. They look at the camera, and when you got it on picture mode, you don't see it. But I can
Video.
like turn it to video if I want to see it. And a lot of times, if deer looks normal in picture, you turn it to video mode, and you see it turn inside out and run. From the camera.
It's one of those things that I think is also dependent a little bit on the deer. Like I've had some bucks up by the Nicolay that every time we hung a camera, that sucker is looking straight at it, and then he like doesn't come back. But then there's some bucks that just don't seem to give a shit, Like
they're just like people.
It's a little bit of personality.
Like
I'm not putting up with that, and the other guy's like, putting up with what?
What are you talking about, Frank? Well, I think you had done a video at some point in time where you dropped milkweed and the doe is bedding like right there.
Yeah, it's
like hitting her. You're like, some deer care, some deer don't. Like proof. She's clearly smelling me, and she's fine with it.
I had a buck one time. It was a little buck, year and a half. But he's standing there walking around this little plot, and I'm dropping milkweed, and one went right into his nose and was stuck there. He's like,
sneezing. That's crazy.
It's wild. I've seen some weird shit where like deer get scared by turkey, and the turkey gets scared by the deer. There's like this whole. I'm watching this all unfold. I'm like, here come the turkey, here come the deer. They don't know about each other yet, but I'm seeing both of them. It's like I got the front row seat to a plot that I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And as sure as shit, they run to each other. They all freaking scattered. I'm like, what? You bunch of idiots. You live together all the time in this setting. Like, how do you not realize that's going on?
It's like deer drives. Some of them act like the deer you're talking about. They just sit there till you're on top of them.
Yeah.
Some of them you slam the car door and one jumps up 800 yards away and takes off like it's shot.
My dad always used to say that about drives. He said the big one's either going to be the first one out or he's going to be the last one. And either way, it'll be well in front or well behind the other ones. He said, so be ready before and be ready after.
Yeah, crazy. How many years have you been hunting, Dan?
Oh, geez.
I know it's a lot, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be 60 in January. Okay. So I started about when I was probably 9. I think you could legally start when you're 12.
Yeah, back then. It's different nowadays, right?
Yeah, nowadays.
I don't know that there's a number. There's no number.
Yeah.
As long as you're like mentor hunting, you can start whenever.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a good thing because what was going on is we were losing so many people because the kids, when they get to be 12, they've lost.
They have different interests at that
point. They're
point.
playing sports, and sports are so demanding nowadays. The schedules
like my granddaughter,
crazy.
she wants to hunt. Now she got into dance, and it's just her dance takes away from the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, deer hunting's kind of like a delicate dance,
Yeah.
We're definitely dancing. That's a long time. So 50-ish years or so of doing this stuff. It's a long time. When did you meet your wife? When did you guys get married?
I met her in high school.
Right off the rip.
Oh,
for you.
Yeah. We got married when I was 20.
Okay.
We had our first child the day after our wedding.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right.
She was pregnant. She was pregnant during her wedding. She went into labor the next morning.
We did it.
Yeah.
We got it right.
I remember my old man was a guy of few words, and he had cancer. He couldn't come to the wedding. And he was at home, and he was a really rough dude. He born in the 1920s and went through World War II and the Great Depression. You know how rough those guys were, right?
Yeah.
He's just reading the paper, and I come walking in the house, and he just goes, "Damn good timing."
You're a minute later, you got your ass whooped.
Damn good timing.
Oh man,
my son every year, Dan Jr. He'll always say, "It's don't forget your anniversary." And what he's really telling me is my birthday's coming up.
Well, that's actually pretty good then.
Yeah.
You remember them both,
right?
Subtle reminders.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So how old is he?
Now you're putting me on the spot.
I'm sorry, I can't do it with my kids. There's three of them. I can't keep track.
Would be okay.
Yeah, I was 20 and I'm 59 now. So
it's like I can't do math on the spot either. Yeah. It's all right. Well, I bring it up. I kind of laid the lay of the land ahead of time a little bit. I probably did a shitty job because that's what I do. But I'm curious. I haven't seen a lot of dialogue around regret, and that might be too strong of a word, but. And then specifically, I whittle down to you and what you have. And I feel like it's come up here or there in traces, or I picked up on it once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking, I mean, you have far more wisdom as someone who's older than us. And that's not a dig. Hopefully it's a compliment because the wisdom part. But you've also been hunting a lot longer and you've been through a lot more seasons of life. And you have kids and you've raised kids. And we're in this thick season. I call it a thick season because my kids are 8, 6, and 4, My wife wants 4 of them, so like I'm gonna be here for a while.
I got a couple extra if you need it.
A raccoon. You need another
Another
asshole.
asshole. And I think on the last episode or 2, we had kind of skirted this topic because someone had commented about it.
Mhm.
They were asking us. I was like, oh, you're barking up the wrong tree if you're asking us, because if I actually was being honest
there's
about
some
it,
people that are really hard about talking about it because
yeah.
it's like
it's a vulnerability or something.
Well, it's like my wife's listening, my kids are listening.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But to me, it doesn't matter. I'm open and honest about that with them and with everybody.
It's good. Well, my wife, I don't think she listens, but she could and would, and she doesn't care. She knows who she married. She knows what this is all about.
Last thing my wife wants to listen more.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You want to share some?
She could stand another
fucking
second.
go for it. She ain't gonna listen.
She just loves it when we go to the restaurant. We sit down to have, like we do Taco Tuesdays.
Mhm.
So every Tuesday we'll go to a taco shop and have tacos.
I love tacos.
And she just loves it when we have her one day a week.
That's
I
it.
spend with her. And somebody pulls up a chair. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Pulls up a map on his phone.
She's just
saw you sitting here.
that probably happens quite a bit.
It does. It does.
Has she ever like stabbed someone with a fork? Like, get away.
She'll just get a look on her face,
She knows what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
She
probably
don't say nothing. Neither do I, of course, but it just is what it is.
Well, I don't know. You've had a little bit of this because I remember our videographer one year asked you how your home life was doing, and I never thought I'd see Derek looking want to murder someone, but I thought he was going to. I was like, I'm gonna have to fucking report a murder in my basement.
And mine's not even that bad.
It wasn't going great though. It was a rough season, and that deer over there, that's the biggest one I've ever gotten. That one was one that caused all the heartburn for me, and rightfully so. I think we just had our 3rd kid. My wife's back was out or something. She was sick or her back, and I couldn't help it. I had to go. The wind changed direction. It was a cold front. It was the rut. Like I was like, I'm sorry. I just need to. And then I thought. This is how ignorant I am. I was like,
oh, we're good.
I got the deer.
Oh, yeah.
It's justified. It's just, it's worth it. I was like smiling ear to ear. I get home. She's like, I can't believe you fucking left me for this. Like, I'm sitting here with 3 fucking kids. I can't move. And I don't care about the deer. I hate that deer. I was like, fuck.
That's why it's here, right?
Craig
Reminder.
Craig shows up ear to ear. He's all like, how's it going? I'm like, see you in the truck. It's not going good. Let's go see if we can find this fucking deer. Like,
yeah, that one for you definitely has some like tainted.
Yeah, it was mixed.
My emotions looking back at the memory of it.
A bit of a lesson. One year I decided not go to a wedding. And my wife was up and she had lots of reasons for me to need to be there, given the complexities of friendships and family dynamics, and I need to be there for support. I was a gun opener.
Oh, jeez.
I joked. I was like, I'm not going.
Right.
I didn't go. That still comes up. So like now I've created the thing I love the most. My wife has a little bit of resentment towards. Tell me how that's going to go over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I've taken steps to kind of like walk it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because actions speak louder than words. So I could say, honey, I love you. And she's like, I know come November, you're going to leave me. I could fucking have cancer. You're going to go kill a deer, Yeah.
But you could be a guy that sits in the bars. You could be a guy that has some other
that was
addiction.
Always my dad's
could be an alcoholic.
thing, right?
There's a lot of that.
At least I'm not sitting at the bar pissing my money away.
I'm not
in
at
the
the strip
woods.
club. I'm not at the bar. I'm an entrepreneur-ish or a wantrepreneur, depending on how you want to phrase it.
Mm-hmm.
So like deer hunting isn't just deer hunting for me because I'm in this shit year round. My career is in this stuff. This is in this stuff. And then there's the actual stuff, plus the trade shows, all that. It's all detractions.
Mm-hmm.
There's positive because I'm starting to bring my kids into it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, there's always this shift.
Yeah.
Where they're totally against it when you're spending money to hunt. And when you start making money, you see them start liking it.
Yeah. That could be a part of it.
I saw that with my shift.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
she likes it when I'm making money.
Yeah. Well, if you're not going to be here, then at least you could, well, it's not making you money. If I was working another job and having a paycheck, I'd be like, well, at least you're supporting our family. But this is,
that's probably why it's hated so much. That's why our wives hate it. We're bad
so I can't blame them, but I'm also not, I'm trying to be like, if my kid came in with a C and I was like, well, the other kid's got a D and an F, I got a C. I'm like, but you should still be trying to get a fucking A, So just because I'm not drinking, I could still be better. Yeah. And now I'm going to fall short. I'm a human being. We're all going to fall short. We're not Jesus Christ, So like, amen. But we're not perfect. We're far from it. We're going to continue to make mistakes. But I'd like to take a moment to have you talk about some of that. Because I don't know if there's moments where like you were in the tree and you're thinking, shit, I really should be at my kid's thing, or shit, I probably should have supported my wife at this thing, or You know, like if 30-year-old you walked in here right now, what does he not want to hear you say? And what do you not want to hear him say?
30-year-old
That'd be a
me
fun
would not listen
conversation.
to me.
Right.
He'd say, "Shut up, old man." That's what he would say. It's generational. I
Okay.
actually think that guys your age are actually better than we were at my age. And it's probably because of the way we were brought up in, you know, large families, no money, and work took a priority over kids. We were basically feral. We just ran around and did whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and then try to be a responsible adult. Where you guys were actually watched over, not allowed to run around as much. You know, they'd actually look at it as bad parenting if you got hit or something. Where if your parent punched you, he'd be a good parent. When I was a kid, you know?
Called the correction.
I remember my principal punched me right in the mouth, busted my lip, and my dad said, "Well, you deserved it."
Yeah. What did you do? You're like,
Right.
what the fuck, man?
Right.
Yeah.
And I did. But besides the point, I mean, so we grew up a little different, you know? And
that's a good point.
I was obsessed with deer hunting, which is how I got the fame I got, is because I was killing giant bucks when nobody else was doing it. Because it was so obsessive, I would find an animal, no matter how I could come up with a way to find them, I'd find them. I would sleep at night and wake up in the night and make notes about something I dreamt up of a tactic to go get them, and wake up in the morning and see these notes. And
Do you still have any of those notes anywhere?
I don't.
That'd be impressive.
You crumbled them up and ate them.
It would be nice to sell those now. You know? But it was like a 24-hour thing in me with hunting. I mean, no matter what I was doing, I was thinking about it. And I would, like, you know, my wife's birthday is on October 27th. I mean, I never spent the birthday evening with her in the early years.
Okay.
I mean, for the first 20 years of our marriage, I didn't spend a birthday with her. I spent it in the woods.
And she just knew that because I mean, you guys dated young.
Yeah.
So, like, was that the precedent right from the get-go? Like,
well, what's
hey,
the
honey,
she
this is
just
what it
knew.
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, she'd complain a little bit, but I didn't do Halloweens with my kids. It's just the way it was, you know. I think I might have did one or two.
And the whole time you're like, it's itching, like, you know, not because of the costume, because like you want to be out.
I was in my 20s and we're sitting at the house doing something, and one of my best friends comes rolling up with his fiance, or girlfriend at the time, and they knock on the door, and I'm like, what are they doing here? They never come over. They got this goofy look on their face, and they come in, and you know, and I spent a lot of time with this guy.
It's not an intervention, was it?
That's what I was wondering. So they come in and they sit down, and I'm like, well, what's going on? And they're like, well, we're getting married. I'm like, well, congratulations. And they're like, we want you to be the best man. And they're like, the date is, and they're telling me the date, and I'm like, that's opening day of bow season. You know, and they're like, we want her to stand up and you to stand up, and you know, and I said, I can't do that. I'm not even going to be at your wedding. That's opening day. And I didn't go. And I mean, that had some real hard feelings because they were family friends too. And, you know, but I was like, you don't get married. You're a hunter. What are you doing getting married on opening day?
You're mad
that's
at him.
permanent. From now on, that's going to be your anniversary.
You're out forever.
That's what July is for. You know, he couldn't get it, you know, and still to this day, when I see him, he brings that up, that I probably shouldn't have did that. But I was a hard guy like that my whole life. And I don't know, there's some turning point when you get old, not necessarily old, but as you're aging, where you start to realize it really doesn't matter if I kill another big buck. I got 50 of them on the wall. When I go look at one, I got to think about, when the hell did I kill that? Because when I kill it, I'm so obsessed with getting the next one, I just forget all about that one. I'm only obsessed about it until I kill it.
Yeah.
And I started to realize it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if I get another one or I don't get another one. And for instance, remember the buck I shot last year?
No.
I don't remember the one you shot either. That's my point, is it doesn't matter. Everybody around me that cares about me knows what I've done and what I didn't, and it stopped mattering. You know, I still have that obsession in me that I want to kill deer, but my family matters more. And I've realized that I've lost a lot of years, you know, with my kids, my wife, and all that, you know, that I can't give back. But even though I regret that, they never complained. My kids never said, you're a bad dad. They have a good
understanding.
I mean, my wife complained a little,
sure,
but not much.
Yeah.
They never said, you're a bad dad, you're a bad husband. They never tried to stop
You're not
me.
a degenerate, like doing the smoking and the drinking and all that stuff.
I took care of them.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. But I still did my hunting just full on, my scouting.
Yep.
I would still get up, middle of the night while she's sleeping, sneak out and go shining every night, and I would still do all that stuff. But they still looked at me as a good dad. But I look back and I don't see myself as a good dad. But I still wouldn't change that. And the reason I wouldn't change that is because that's what made me the compassionate person I am now.
You almost needed that to get this online.
I really believe that everything happens for a reason. I think that some of that probably is God's way of if I'm going to be, a person out there for people and talking to people, that's my way of showing the mistakes I made, or vice versa. It changes who you are, you know what I mean? But killing all those bucks made me who I am. But being bad to my family made me who I am too. But I'm the one seeing me as bad. I don't want you to think that my family looks at me like that. They don't.
That's fair. But
and you provided for your family. They were taken care of. So it's not like you're just walking out on them, right? And like doing that. But I got a question. You mentioned before, like if 30-year-old Dan was here and tried to say something to you, I wouldn't listen to him anyway. What if your son, maybe not when he was young, because the youngsters, they just want to be with you, right? Even if they don't say it. But what if like 15-year-old Dan Jr. said like, hey, you're being a shitty dad. All you're doing is hunting. Would it have mattered? Like, would it have been like, well, this is what I do. Like, you just get used to it.
I don't know. I can't answer that. He never said it. I don't know what I would have did, but I think my obsession was so strong that maybe I would have listened. Maybe I wouldn't have. I'm sure it would have hurt. Yeah, for sure. But I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah, that's tough.
But I am noticing that, when I was that age, I wasn't alone. There was a lot of people like me doing that came out of that same generation. And what I'm noticing now is your generation, the reason you're asking me these questions is because you guys are concerned about this.
That's fair. Yeah.
And a lot of people are. That question comes up a lot. It didn't come up when I was a kid or when I was young.
It wouldn't have. I think I've talked about this at some point. Not that I expect people to actually remember anything I say or that they listen. But one generation ago, my dad, I think he was there for birth, and obviously mine was like really complicated, but so he was of course there. But then it's like you go to the bars and you drink beer, you have some shots, you have the stogies, you celebrate. The generation before that, the grandpas and the great grandpas, like, did they even go to the hospital? They just went right to the fucking bar. I had a kid, it's a boy, and that was it. So like there is this difference because now the expectation is that of course we're there. I'm sleeping on that shitty couch with my wife. It's just
you talk
the
to some of the
expectations
older
are
people.
so
People
different.
older than me, like the next generation beyond me, would tell me, "Oh, you guys are pussified."
Yeah, right.
You're turning into women. You're slowly turning into women. That's they
Do you know how hard it is?
And there's a little bit of truth to that.
Fatherhood, it looks very different now than even like one generation ago.
It's
like
so difficult.
What my dad did.
Because I would love. I mean, in one breath, I think the idea of no, my role is out of the house. I'm working. I'm going to go do these things. I provide that. That's what the money's for. You're happy. Let's go. That isn't the expectation anymore. So what's become harder in the softness of it is, man, I got to fucking fold laundry and shit. Like, damn it. I helped my wife fold laundry last night. Do you know what that did for her though? Many hands make light work. It got done twice as fast and we could both enjoy shit faster versus like you do that. Now I suck at folding laundry. So she's like gritting her teeth the whole fucking time. It'd be like if I had her come in here and push buttons, I'd be like, you're not doing it right. Like,
yeah, I'm kind of like, you want me to do laundry? All right, you go fix the truck.
Let's see how this works. Yeah, it is interesting.
And well, you're in an interesting situation in that like maybe other guys your age who are doing the same thing and just didn't look back on it at all. But I mean, you have a part of you that kind of had that part where you're sharing and mentoring and helping because of what you've built with your hunting knowledge. Like, and we're great. Like everyone's grateful for that because like you took it upon yourself where other guys weren't really interested in educating or teaching or sharing those experiences. I think part of you like that fulfilled something. You know what I mean? Like that's what it seems like to me. I can't speak for you,
but add on to that because
helping others kind of filled that void maybe, or not a void, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You're kind of like a father to a lot of like figure to a lot of people who grew up.
That was kind of a weird
looking
path
to frickin' hunt.
because the path wasn't probably how you're envisioning it. I decided at one point that I was going to do like educational stuff. I think it was when I first started DVDs.
I remember distinctly Marsh
Bucks.
and Farm Country and Hill Country, like those DVDs. My dad got those. He thought he had the fucking key to unlock the deer universe. He's like, Eric, you don't understand. This is where we hunt, and this is Dan. I was like, oh, let's watch this. You know, he's like, he's killing him here. How is he? So sorry, but it was a big fucking deal.
So when I came out with that stuff, and when I started doing that, prior to that, it was common knowledge you don't share.
Yeah.
You don't tell people stuff.
Like loose lips, sink
I got so much hate.
I can't imagine. You probably
when you started sharing.
That's probably how the THP
and I knew it was
guys
coming.
get now.
I knew it was coming because I was like on TV shows and stuff like with Whitetail Addictions and that stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw that like every time you gave a tip or something, people were mad instead of happy. You know, but I was like, I could rewrite how this is going. And you know, if you go back even further to like my childhood, I lost my point.
It's all right.
That's one of the other things that comes with age.
Yeah, no, that's going to get more pronounced for me.
It'll probably come back in a second.
What was your question? Just like the father to the industry to a degree. You're kind of like getting a little bit of that fulfillment for yourself. Not that was the intent, but that could have been. Your cup was being filled in that fatherly way because you're sharing so much knowledge with everybody else. You got hate for it. Like trying to get to
where I was going was as a kid hunting, I was killing all these bucks and stuff, and I figured out a system because I didn't have that father figure. My father worked 2 jobs; he was never around, which is probably what made me the way I was. But he was never around, and I was on my own. So I went and hunted on my own, and I didn't have mentors telling me all the bad things because common knowledge was false knowledge. Like, don't go near bedding. You know, you blow it for everybody. Don't
disturb it. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Bucks are nocturnal.
If you sit in a spot long enough, you sit in a spot long enough with tracks, a deer will show up. The more the tracks, the more likely.
Downwind of a trail, you'll kill deer.
Right. I didn't have that. And I learned a system and I was killing better bucks than everybody else. And at the same
When did it occur to you that was happening? Like, did it?
As it was going on, you have to be an idiot to be looking around you at everybody struggling and you're killing the biggest buck of everybody.
You're like, is this really easy? Or are you guys really stupid? What's going on here? You know, like
part of it, you know, it's because I'm spending 90% more time in the woods than they are. That's a big part. Yeah. But still, if you're out doing all your friends every year in the same area, not some distant farm or something, but the same area, it shows you that something's going right. You know, and I kept working on that. But at the same time, in school, in those days, there wasn't one like there is now. There was nothing to do. You know what I mean? There was 3 channels on the TV. You know, there wasn't like.
Yep. No, you just went outside. That's what you did.
Right. So everybody was smoking pot. They're drinking. They're womanizing. It was just the kids were way worse than they are now. No matter what anybody says, everybody's always like they get worse and worse. Get worse in different ways.
We got away with more back then, and it wasn't documented. Yeah,
right. There wasn't even cameras, though. You know,
it wasn't posted to social media, so it seemed to fine.
So really, my escape from all that, because all my friends were on drugs. All of them were drunks. They'd sit around a campfire every night till they were unconscious. You know, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be part of that.
Feel right for you, yep.
And I became a loner. And what do? I went hunting. And the hunting is kind of what saved me. It's why I put everything into that, because that was my friend. Hunting was my friend. That was my buddy. You know, I was the loser with no friends. And I see these kids nowadays that want to get into hunting and stuff, and you see a little of that in them. Maybe not as much a loser as me, but still that they got a little bit of a, you know, they're lost. And they're trying to be a hunter. And they go out and they sit in the middle of a public land and a sea of orange, wondering, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing what they're doing and this is how I saw it back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm doing what they do on the Outdoor Channel. You know, this is what Lee and Tiffany do. This is what Drury's do. And I'm not seeing any deer. How are they doing this?
It's funny how that works.
And I thought, you know what? I can give them the key. And if I can touch a few of these kids, I'm doing something good. That was kind of my turning point, going from that greedy hunter to wanting to help and wanting to give back a little bit.
That's a big shift.
It is.
in the I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's a huge shift.
The former mentality that most of the industry had, from what I'm understanding, is kind of like the guy at the shop that's got all the seniority. He doesn't want to share any knowledge because he's afraid if he shares it,
Job
then you'll take his
security.
job.
Mhm.
It's like, well, if you share your knowledge, we can get better as a collective, and the company will do better. We'll get raises. Like, you're being too guarded about it. Like, there's
Mhm.
enough resources to go around here. If I share this, hunting will be better as a result as a whole.
Right.
And I think that's really hard.
That's not
People
the
still have that
predominant
mentality
mindset.
now.
Most people don't go, oh,
Yeah.
if we did it all together, everything would be great. Most people want it.
Right. Well, most people want to be the best.
Yeah.
They
These
want it
young
for
guys want to be
themselves.
like I want to be Joe Hunter, better than everybody, and they don't want to share that. If
Mhm.
they got some key, they don't want to give it up.
Yep.
But me, by giving that up, I think that literally, if you look at how it was before I came out with the DVDs and how it changed, and at the same time we built up the Hunt and Beast forum,
Mhm.
which in those days before Facebook was the
it.
It was
place.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we did that, I mean, we gave them the keys, and at the same time, you know, other people started seeing the light, saying, "Oh, well, you know, there's different ways to be the man. I can be the man by sharing," because they saw like what I was doing, and more people started doing the exact same thing I was doing, and everybody started, you know, mimicking it, making their own little places and stuff, and it was great. It was expanding. You know, you could take it and like, you're copying me, or you can take it and say, this is expanding the world. You know what I mean? We're just growing everything. It was the same thing. I saw the same thing in machine shops.
Yeah.
You know, nobody, these old timers, you go, hey, how do you do that? Fuck you, kid. You got to learn like I did. You going to take my job? That's the way to talk to you.
Yeah, the gatekeeping kind of thing. Like, no.
Right. Where now
Yep.
everybody in machining is like, well, let me show you how to do that.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, because you might think of it a different way than I would, and then we'll both be doing something fun.
Right. And you could put that in the carpentry or anything.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, that mentality is tough. It comes with the territory a little bit. We don't want to share. But oddly enough, this is a true. There's some factual knowledge I'm about to say, but don't ask me to cite the source. Just go Google it and you'll find it. But the oldest kid in the family is the smartest, and it's not because they were here longer.
I'm the 11th child.
Well, it's
Shot fired.
It's statistically, allegedly true, and it's because the oldest kid teaches the younger kids. And the best way to get good at something and learn it and to lock it in and solder in your mind is when you teach something. I'm just piecing this together right now. You're a teacher. You're the only child, so you're your own fucking problem.
Lots
so
of
there's
problems
that. But it's because they're putting all this energy into teaching their younger siblings, and you learn something better when you teach it too. You're learning something more than others were because you were also teaching it.
Yeah,
it's really hard to take a complex topic and make sure you can break it down so someone else can understand it. That alone is like exercising neurons in your brain that the other people not teaching it don't fucking have.
Yeah. Let me rephrase it like this too. Like, I look at it like this. I'm still learning. There's things I've learned in the last. Yeah, exactly. There's
wow,
things
that was crazy.
There's things I'm still learning that I learned in the last few years that are cool. But yet I've given things that took me a lifetime to learn to these young guys.
Yeah.
And if they're learning the way I was learning, they're going to be way better than I am.
Way ahead. Yeah, it's like
they're gonna take that and move up. And you as a teacher, if you do your job, those kids are going to learn what you know, and then they're going to get even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe not if you're locked into some books you have to do, but you get my point.
Well, I'm in a very creative field, so I'm not locked into anything, which is the only reason I do the job I do, because I don't like that. Oh, here's your curriculum. Like, I couldn't do that. So
they don't have a curriculum for art, huh?
No, they do.
No paint by numbers?
But it's like, it's all finger painting.
One is red, damn it. One is red.
Fail. Let me use the red for you.
That's funny. No, and if you're not learning as a deer hunter, you can never know it all. Like, you just and there are guys that think they do, and maybe you got a method down, and this will work. But then as soon as you get out of your comfort zone, you either are going to be comfortable with looking and feeling stupid over here to expand your knowledge, or that uncomfortability is going to make you go right back to where you're good, and you're not going to expand. That's really hard. I think it was Seneca or something that said, like, you have to be willing to look stupid for a period of time to get better at something.
You know what one of the big eye openers was recently? It was a few years back, but like 3 years ago. I shot this really big buck in Wisconsin. what happened is I went out of state hunting,
Mhm.
and I was gone for like 2 weeks, and I was going to stay a little longer. And I decided to be the good dad,
There
the
you
good
go.
husband.
Yeah.
And I came home for my wife's birthday.
Wow.
Drove
That's a
all the way
big
back
change,
from
Dan.
Iowa. Right.
Yeah.
Being irresponsible.
She should
as a hunter.
appreciate
I was
how hard that was.
irresponsible
What the
as a
hell
hunter.
were you thinking?
Right.
I hope she really appreciates
So, hey, don't make me out too good yet. It gets a little shaky. So we go out to eat. We were going to go to tacos, right?
Mhm.
So we go and we leave and we go past one of these little properties that I hunt a bit, and it usually something big floats in there here and there.
It was only a little bit out of the way.
We're
I know it wasn't on the
Always be
correct way.
scouting. Yes, yes.
We're going past, and I look over, and it's got this little parking lot that holds 4 cars. And it's never, there's one there, maybe 2. It's a real small property. You go by, and there's 4 cars in that parking lot, and there's 6 parked pried into the grass, and there's like,
So someone saw something,
and
man.
I'm like, what the hell's going on there? And my wife says, Dan, it's been like that since you left. There's been that many cars there every single day, and it's a weekday.
Hmm.
And I'm like, really? We ate her birthday meal really fast. Because
now it's burning you
that
up.
was a big
Yeah.
shift for me to go from hunting overlooked properties where you're trying to look for nobody
Yep.
to realizing if everybody's showing up at one spot, there must be something being seen on trail cameras, because there's trail cameras everywhere, and they're all
Cell
live
cams, yeah.
cell cams. So they all know what's going on. And I'm like, the only way there's that many cars is if they're getting cell pictures of something. And I know that property, and I know where they're going to hunt. They're going to hunt them ridges. They're going to hunt them woods. They're not going to be down in that crap where the deer would be living. And I know if there's a big buck on that property where he's going to be. And I killed him that night on my wife's birthday. And it's just one of the biggest bucks I ever shot.
Holy shit, that's cool.
It was a 170-inch buck.
That's amazing.
So I shot it because I noticed that. But that was a reckoning for me, because I always seek the places with no trucks. And I started seeing over the years up until then, it worse and worse in those spots. But I'm still seeing cell cams.
But no one's dragging deer out.
Because there's cell cams. If you hunt the same area as I do, there's cell cams everywhere.
You can't.
So if you're not
find
seeing
them.
cars, there's no deer there worth hunting.
Yeah, that's absolutely
That's basically
accurate.
how it is. And don't turn that into I'm hunting their spots. I'm looking at the map and saying I know where they're hunting and I know what they're missing. And I'm not hunting their spots. I'm hunting.
Where aren't they going?
Right. Because they're probably getting that
That
pictures at night.
So David and I went and shot some content the other day, and it was a spot where I had hunted before, and it was a conservancy property.
Mhm.
So like supposed to have limited access. I don't think people play by the rules with that shit, apparently. It's a whole different conversation. But I rolled up here thinking, well, this is the land I'm hunting because I have this special access. So like, well, I'm gonna put my my eggs in this basket. And there was nowhere to park because there were all these other vehicles there. Because of course I got there late like a dumbass. Who knows what happened that day? And I was like, well, I'm here. I'm gonna go hunt it anyways. And I took the most disgusting route possible. Filled my boots the whole way through. I'm disgusted, covered in mud. I'd fallen. And I get to this area, and I'm like just about to like, I don't know, kind of give up on the hunt mentally. I'm just going to enjoy the nice day. It's fall. It's beautiful out. And I heard this crashing, and I thought, here comes a hunter. Here comes one of the dudes. No, it was a buck chasing another buck off, and it was a lot of commotion.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I see another buck come in because he's grunting, and he chases that buck off. So now I have eyes on a dominant buck.
You stumbled into the pocket.
And I stumbled into the pocket, and so I think it was either 3 or 4 that I had seen in that kind of like duration of time. And I thought I was going to make a move on him. I thought, this is it. I'm going to kill this deer. That did not happen. Like they were onto me, but I didn't know that. But what I did have an aha moment was by the time I got out of the woods, all the other cars were gone. There's no blood. There's no track. No one heard no commotion on the property. I had somehow scooted past what I think was about 8 other hunters on a fairly small parcel, saw 0 of them, and saw all the deer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
By trying to avoid hunters, huh?
yeah. But I was like, you could write off a spot if it's crowded, or you could figure out where the hell they're going and don't go where they're going.
Yeah,
I knew where they were. I just kind of intuitively understood, like, well, if I were them and if they weren't here, I would have gone to these spots. But I only went to the spot because they were there. It wasn't even like I was being that smart. I just was like, this is the only spot they're not going to be. And that's where the deer were. And that was like a, whoa, big, huge moment for me in my hunting career.
I do way better on spots that are pressured. And take that with a grain of salt, because if it's so pressured, there's no bucks to hunt. Well, you know, which you've all seen.
Yeah.
They kill them all before they get to age. But if there's a buck on that property and I know it, the more the pressure, the better. Because that puts those bucks exactly where I know they'll be.
Especially if
it tightens them up. It makes them more
concentrated to like a certain area.
Yeah,
it's still hard to get to and hunt and kill, but I mean,
I think that almost like your mindset, all your years of kind of honing your craft and seeing where the big ones are. I almost feel like the more pressure and the older the deer, it just eliminates areas where he's not going to want to do this. And like, I just feel like with your mindset, it almost helps you. Like, you know, the older and the more pressure, I know right where that sucker's going to be.
Yeah, that's I don't think I've had that aha moment before until Dan had said it, because it wasn't I'm a smart guy. It was I just don't want to run into these fucking people. And I normally wouldn't have suffered that hard. Like, I'm being honest, I would have just taken the path that I think everyone else was taking, because there was like a walkway in and a nice padded trail, and you know,
you just think about like some of the properties I hunt. You know, I can think of one where it's a main parking lot. We're on a Saturday during rut. There could be 20 or 25 trucks in one parking lot. But yet I see giant bucks there. How do those bucks live running around in rut? Well, obviously they don't run around like people think.
No.
So you got to kind of find that path
because they're moving.
That you're taking where you're avoiding
Yeah.
those guys.
Yeah.
And then you're running into those deer.
Yep. It's kind of like when I play with my kids. I don't know what do they call it when I play this game with them? Oh God. Well, it's not Tickle Monster anymore, but I go to some extreme degrees with like scaring the shit out of my kids and running about the house. I remember one time I climbed on top of the wash machine above the door frame in the laundry room. I'm like hovering over far enough back with my feet, my body all hunched over. Well, my wife walked in. I thought she pissed her pants. I was so committed.
She probably did.
And she's like, I'm not playing the game, but I'll play this game and they'll walk past me. I'll jump down and I'll scoot past them. Like they don't see it happening. I'm being real sly about it. You know, I'll go out the front door, come back in the back door, run around the whole house. Like they can't find me because I'm not in a single spot. I think some of these big deer, much like a guy playing Tickle Monster with his kids, just knows the house so good, knows these hunters are so, I'm not calling my kids dumb, just, you know, childlike. And they know where to scoot past. They know how to like, if you're moving this way, you don't even see that they had gone that other way out the back door or
so
like.
you have the Tickle Monster tactic.
Might be a new video for you.
I don't have the tactic, but I think bucks, they must be, they're skirting around all of us. You know what I mean? They understand how to move through it.
And that's what I'm doing is I figured out that skirt. So like when I look at a basic public property around here, I take it and I take 90% of it and say, they're not there.
Yeah.
And I take that 10% and I say, okay, what in this 10% has the terrain that they want to be in? Then I got 5% of that property left, and I go in there and I find a buck.
And in what that terrain do not most hunters want to fuck with?
Right. Well, that's the 10%.
Can they not set
so
up?
I'm finding spots that are like the cover is too high to hunt off the ground, but there's no trees. And I'll get in a bush. I'll do what I have to. What I have to do is find the buck. And where is he living? I could care less whether there's trees, no trees, what it looks like.
Killers are going to kill.
I got to find that buck because he's got this little window he moves. I'm not going to kill him by hunting that pristine ridge every day if he doesn't live there, if everybody hunts there.
Yeah.
No matter how good it looks, no matter how big rubs there are from him going through there at night, I'm not going to kill him there. I have to go find that buck and then find a way to hunt that spot. And that's the trick, is that you got to find a way to hunt that spot. And most people won't do that. They have a niche. They have to be in their saddle, or they have to be in their stand, or they have to be in a ground blind, or they have to be still hunting. And they stick to their niche. And basically, you got to do what it takes to kill the deer in the spot that he wants to be.
It could be any of those tools.
You got to be a hunter and not like there's so much specialization. I'm a saddle hunter.
Well, how many times do you watch a show or whatever, and the guy's like, I only hunt off the ground with a longbow, and it's like,
why would you limit be a hunter?
Or what bothers me even more is the guy who says, I'm 100% public land. Are you trying to put on a show, or are you trying to hunt?
Yeah. You're telling me if somebody said, hey, there's a big deer living on my property, you can go hunt it? You'd be like, nope, I'm 100% public land hunter.
Right.
Tell somebody else to go get that.
That used to be looked down upon. Like, oh, you're a poor, you know? Like, so you wouldn't want to tell people you hunt on public land because you're like, I hunt public. You know, and when my dad was,
loser.
yeah.
Well, like it used to be the training grounds.
Yeah.
You go out there and it'd be a bunch of people that didn't know what the hell they're doing. And now you see experienced people on these public lands.
They show up on your cameras wearing all the nice shit, and you're like, God, looks like a killer.
Remember how scared you were when
they got,
one guy showed
they got
up?
all the stickers on their truck, and they got all the patches on, so you know they're pros.
Oh, God, that's when you know.
I saw it on the
seconds till that guy draws blood. I know it.
Then they look at me, and they're like, look at this guy. He's like wearing a T-shirt hunting.
Yeah. I met with my cousin, Jeremy, and he kind of laughed at me. He's nice about it. He's very nice. I don't know why he's so nice, but I got all the shit. This is when I was younger still. I'm still young, but I was younger. And he's like, you don't need any of that. Take the backpack off. You're bringing a knife and your bow.
Yep.
We're not doing whatever the fuck this is. And he's in jeans and a white T-shirt. He just got off work in his paid for car. He's got all his, carpentry shit in the back. He grabs his longbow and we go into the woods. Yep. He's like, everyone's going to go there. We're not doing that. We're going over here. And I was like, oh, wow. And he kills bigger bucks than most people I've ever met. And it's like, there's something to that then. You don't need half of the stuff that we think we do. I like a lot of the stuff. I can nerd out on it. I'm not a gear guy. Like, I'm not technical about it, but I do enjoy some of the stuff. Like, I'm not going to lie to anybody.
I like super simple.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of these young guys are so into the gadgets and gadgets. They take more crap in an afternoon hunt than I take in a week-long, camping trip where I'm hunting.
I believe it.
I don't skip on my
They have
snacks.
more on their back than I have in my truck when I go on a camping trip.
Yeah. Holy shit, it's Jason Bourne.
Is that 60 pounds?
Yeah.
You don't snack. I do like to have a few good granola bars or something. Like
I'll usually find something laying around the woods.
Yeah, that's what this guy does. He's eating these weird nuts in the tree. I'm like,
well, that was just to be
funny.
Fucking stupid. Send you guys a picture. That's like a tamarack cone.
It tastes like acid.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah, I like this shit though. It's fun. Do your kids hunt though? Did they ever get into it or no?
James, the rat slayer. He's a hunter. Dan Jr. hunted for a little while when he was young.
Okay.
He wasn't really into it. He liked the exciting stuff, like going after wild boars or bears or something. He got a bear once, but it was a little sketch, and that was about the end of his hunting.
Okay. See that.
But James, he's into it, but he's had a lot of issues in his life. He's just recently broke his back in a car accident.
Oh, jeez.
He's got all these metal rods and screws and plates in his back.
That's
now.
hard to deal with.
He went through a really bad divorce.
Okay.
He just had a new baby, and now he's got a new girlfriend, and the woman that divorced him is now angry because he's got a girlfriend, in a new family. But she didn't want him, But he's had a lot of issues because of that. Yeah. He's got money issues because of having to, they fire you when you can't do your job.
Yeah, break your back.
Yeah, because you slow down. So he's struggling, but he's quite the hunter. He does have a little bit of a complex though, and he's pretty open about it. He tells me all the time that like everybody expects me to be like you, kind of thing. And I'm like, you could be your own person. And like he started out, the first deer he shot was a nice 9-pointer with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
The second deer he shot was a 160-inch buck with the gun on one of our deer drives.
Wow.
The next deer he shot was his first bow deer. His first bow deer was a Pope and Young, and this is by coincidence.
That's tough to come out of that though.
Right.
That's a hell of a start.
But he likes to just shoot deer.
Yeah.
And he thinks everybody's looking for, and I'm like, nobody
cares
what you shoot.
Yeah.
I get where he's coming from though. I mean, like anyone who's got a dad who is really good at something, especially like as well known in the hunting community as you, like that's got to be in the back of your mind a little bit all the time. I would get it.
I just keep trying to tell him to just have fun. And whatever happens, and it doesn't matter.
And when you have fun is when you really hit your stride. Like,
right.
An obsession is a different thing too.
But just the same thing as like I had pressure when I was young.
Yeah.
Pressure to perform, thinking I'm going to be some great guy. And, look at, even when you hit all your goals, which I pretty much did, everything I expected myself of, or not expected, but wanted of myself. I couldn't have wanted more than I've gotten. I'm not rich, I'm not famous, and it doesn't really do a hell of a lot for you. It's not like you're some football star or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like it's deer. Yeah.
Really, you come to a realization.
Yeah.
And I try to put that realization in his head that it doesn't matter. Just go have fun. What matters is that he's a good dad, he's a good husband, to his new wife, and that he's got a good family, and he really is a good father, and
that's good,
and a good spouse. So that's what matters more than what he kills or whatever.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for us to realize that? Like, it takes a while to. I feel like I'm learning it sooner than maybe not. Maybe I'm fucking late. I'm pretty slow with learning things. So,
I mean,
know, but it does take a while for us to like.
It seems like it
take that in.
matters so much for a guy like maybe you're a little older than that, but these younger guys, it matters so much for them to kill a big buck.
I think they think the grip and grin.
Anybody else in the world, whether or not they do.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, in the business realm, you see these entrepreneurs that sold they have the big exit, and then they go on the podcast tour, and then you're listening, you're like, I want to fucking have that. Do I want to have it because I accomplished it? Do I want to have it because I want to be on the circuit? I just want to know that I could achieve the thing. But when you achieve the thing, there's no finish. I think David Goggins said this. There's no finish line in life. The finish line is death. We're all gonna fucking die.
Yeah,
that's like nothing else. You never get to the thing, and then you realize life just keeps going on. Even like when death happens, that's the hardest part about it, is that if you lose someone close to you, they die, and you have to still stay here and keep going through it, and life goes on. Mm-hmm. So if you think about all the achievements that happen,
what bothers me the most about that
life goes on.
Is that eventually you're okay with it.
Yeah,
that bothers me. Somebody really close dies to me, dies for me, and my family, and it's like you go on.
Enough time passes, and you're like, your brain can't live there forever.
Being an 11th child and being old, as you can imagine, my brothers and sisters are dying off, and you're pretty close with them.
Yeah.
It's hard that the more it happens, the easier it happens, and that's hard to deal with. It's almost like you feel guilty
to think about.
It's a good thing you're not the smartest one.
Right.
Were you pretty close with most of your siblings?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say? I kept going.
No, it was about something much stupider. It was about deer. And now we're talking about something more serious.
Yeah. Well,
we'll just skip that.
You're going to scare off all your viewers with this death crap. Where are you going with this?
I don't know. I didn't mean to do that. And this is just the drink I've been enjoying. So
liquid death. Yeah.
We're going morbid here.
They're trying to kill me.
Yeah, I've been really tooling down on the. I don't have a problem with drinking. I just stopped caring. I just slowly dissipated the need to feel like I need to have a drink. I just was like, what's the fucking point? I'm gonna have one beer. Why even bother having one beer? Why don't I just have a water and hydrate myself?
As you pointed out, I'm stupid enough sober, so I'm better off staying that way.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of a drink more than I can tolerate a drink these days. I think. Like, I want a cold beer, but then I have a cold beer. I'm like, well, I'm not going to have 10. And if I do, that's a different conversation.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. What you've been on so many damn podcasts. You've been on so many videos. You've been at this stuff for a long time. Is there anything that comes to mind for you that, like, man, I really wish someone would ask me this?
No, not really.
Like,
I just go with the flow.
Like, oh man, they really missed the ball. They would ask me this question.
You know what I hate with podcasts? I hate when I get in there and it's somebody that asked me to be on the podcast, and you think they're going to be, getting into some stuff,
research or something.
And they have no clue, and they're just asking general questions, and I'm thinking, you wasted your opportunity.
Yeah,
and those are ones I don't go back on them.
Yeah,
but I will go on, and I shouldn't say this because now my freaking email is going to blow up.
But you do. You're very open about going on.
I'll go on
open invitation.
Small podcasts or small little guys, because that's what I'm doing is I'm helping people.
Yep.
I hate it when these people tell you, we only take podcasts or we only go on them if they're a certain level and stuff. Like
I'm the same way.
Like one famous guy I asked said, I don't go on anybody unless you're bigger than me. And I thought, what the hell? Well,
that's something.
I care about teaching people and helping people. And you're not that you're necessarily teaching people, but I think I'm doing two things. I'm reaching a new audience, going on somebody's smaller podcast, and I'm also helping that smaller guy get a little boost. So I don't mind doing that.
I really, I'm when we started calling ourselves OKS Hunter, I had, it's not a chip on the shoulder, but I was fervent about not having big names on because I wanted to know that we could do this our way without those bumps.
Yeah.
I didn't want an inflated
There's something
audience.
nice
you know
about
I mean?
just hearing a perspective where you don't already know the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Because I mean, somebody goes on Google and searches Dan Infalt, there's going to be 300 podcasts that pop up.
Right.
So they know what they're going to get typically, right?
And
like,
it is kind of nice to just hear from the average guy and just know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of like that. I kind of like the fact too that you just take it and say, hey, we're not experts. We're just okayist. You know?
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, most of these guys want to come out with a podcast. They want to come out with a YouTube channel and put all this media out all at once. And they shot $1 one time.
We can't pretend we're something we're not. People will know.
Right.
Like it's pretty freaking apparent.
People will know
genuine or not.
There's a lot of people out there faking it pretty good. You know?
We're just very forthcoming about, and I think part of it is that you learn from your mistakes the most, or at least you ought to. And then if you're not, you're just repeating them over and over again, and that's like a miserable life. So I was like, well, if we learn from mistakes more than we do from our successes, and we haven't had a lot of successes, we got a lot to fucking talk about.
Yeah,
because we've made a lot of mistakes. Let's air that out for a while. You know, yeah. I think there's a lot of people that have kind of taken our mantra to a degree and kind of done their own thing, which I don't mind. I think copying someone is what is that called? It's a compliment, right? It's flattery, or to some degree, something like whatever. And the industry could use more of it, so it's fine. I'm not. I always notice it, but I'm like, good for them. Like if I can help them, great. But I try to help people too. I come into contact with folks, and I have more of like a marketing mind than I do a hunting mind at times. So I try to help on that side as best I can, and take the advice. Don't take the advice. It's like if I read a book. And you're like, what's a good book to read? And I say, read this book. Like, you might have a totally different interpretation of that book. But I would love to hear about your interpretation because you might have picked up something I didn't.
Yeah, along the same lines.
So I like sharing with people.
I'm the youngest kid. I can't read.
They gave up on number 7. Let's be real.
They didn't teach you a lot, but yeah, it did stick.
As far as that goes, like the different interpretations on things, I know, obviously, you mentioned you're still learning stuff and you've been hunting for, 45, 50 years, whatever. Since you've kind of made the rounds now and done hunt stock and you've gone out east and you got to talk with a whole bunch of different, I know you talk with the Benoits and some big name guys out there, Rick Labby, and you've got to talk with a bunch of different really good whitetail hunters who do different stuff. Have you been able to kind of learn some things from talking with them? Or I know you learn from like your own mistakes, like Eric mentioned, like you're obviously very good at figuring that out, but like, has it been kind of cool seeing what they do? And like, have you picked up anything or is it just,
I wouldn't say I picked up a lot. I got to hunt with them a little bit too. I haven't picked up a lot that I wasn't already into, but one thing I picked up on, like with Rick Labby and with Mr. Benoit, is their confidence. You know what I mean? Like in following a track, I've always lacked confidence in that,
I didn't know that.
And it's like, I feel like I'm too antsy. I'm always jumping to deer. I never get close enough, I've been pretty good at like in more open terrains, like farming communities and stuff, like being able to figure out where the bedding is and stalk into the bedding area and shoot them in their beds. I've been good at that, but I haven't been good at like just following
the tracks.
I always seem to blow it. And to watch the confidence level of like Rick just go one track after another track. I mean, we went on a hunt for 3 days together and he jumped like 15 bucks he could have shot or 15 deer. And I never caught up with one, and you just get on a track and follow it basically, but he would go like a rocket, but I think it was more like he believed in it so much that he was able to stay focused and you know what I mean?
He just knew like, hey, if you tell yourself enough that you're going to catch the deer at the end of the tracks, you're going to do it. Whereas
right. But as far as reading the tracks and stuff, I'm good at that too. But more just the mindset. And I think I see that in myself. So seeing it like that with the tracking was a little, I don't know that I didn't know that.
But
there's something about that clicked.
Yeah.
If you don't have that muscle.
Because I see that with like young guys and stuff too. I can take a young kid that's never killed a deer and I can hand them all the knowledge. Here's what you got to do. Here's how you hunt. Here's where you hunt. I show him on a map what tree to go to, and he still ain't going to kill the deer because he doesn't believe in himself. You know, it's like when I go out into the public land, you see all these guys that look like they really know what they're doing. They got brand new saddles, they got tree stands and stuff. They all know who I am. You know, we all go into the woods, and I go to my spot. Maybe for whatever reason, I'm close to the road. Maybe I shoot a deer and I come out early. But I've noticed a half an hour before dark, all the trucks are gone.
They've all left.
And I kill all the deer in that last half an hour. It's like, you've got
that's one of the
onyx. What
biggest
are you
lessons.
afraid of?
Yeah. You're gonna get out of here. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah, I've actually probably relied on a little too much because my navigation skills are trash these days. What? How do you keep an open mind as you age up? And I ask that because
you do have a tendency
you start
to
to
lock
close
into.
off.
Yeah.
So then, like, how do you keep still learning? Like, how do you, if you're you talk with the Benoits and the Drury's and anybody else you like?
I would say if I'm really confident in something, you're gonna have a hard time changing my mind with words.
Yeah. So
but if I believe in somebody,
Mhm.
I'm going to listen to them and I'm like, okay, I'll try that, but I'm skeptic. Because I've seen so much over my time where like real well-known people tell you something and you're like, that's bullshit. I've been there. I've done that.
Yeah.
You know, I know they believe it.
Yep.
But I know it's bullshit.
I think seems like the best teacher for you is obviously the deer. Like if you see a deer do something, you're going to believe that 10 times more than 10 well-known people telling you some frickin' smoke show tactic or whatever. Like whatever the deer, like that's what you've kind of done is figured out what these deer are doing. That's what's taught you. Like you're a mentor to people, but you didn't have that, right?
You have that mentor
were your
telling me
freaking
what to
educator,
think, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what made me think different.
Yeah, for sure.
But I honestly, with people, I always have a grain of salt with everything I'm fed.
I'm finding that more and more as I age up because it's not because I'm becoming some old curmudgeon. It's because I've been around long enough to see this play out. I've heard that play out. I've heard this vein before. There's another guy coming into the space, seen it, heard it. And so I am looking at it with an angle or a lens of apprehension until proven otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, okay, you do know what you're talking about, or oh, you did figure that out, or you aren't full of shit.
Right.
But people, I think, we're always being advertised to, lied to by politicians. Like it's fucking prevalent. Like you can't. Everything is apprehension.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you've been around long enough that you're tried and true. Like people know if they go to Dan that you're a trustworthy source. I can listen to you and I can learn something. I can't tell you how many times you come up on this podcast. I mean, I must be like every damn episode. Someone we talk to is like, I learned that from Dan Infalt. I'm like, I'm not surprised. He's taught a lot of people. You've been around for a long time. I don't want to get calloused as I get older to the degree where I'm not taking in new information because that's when I think.
You know how I like to do it? Like when somebody's right under my wing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I occasionally I'll take somebody young and I'll take them hunting for a season or two. Or in a machine shop, I'll have an apprentice under me or something. What I'll do is I'll take when they come to me with an issue, instead of giving them a black and white answer, I'll give them something to do. Like, here's how you find out. And if they don't want to do that mission, they probably don't have it in them. But if you have them go do something, they'll learn it and they'll remember it. If you tell them, they won't.
Yep. It's like our parents, right?
Yeah, learn it on your own. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm not telling them the secrets or something. But if it's something that like a lot of times they'll come to me and be like, I think this. And they'll be telling you because they know it goes against the grain. They'll know that's not what Dan tells me, but this is what I think. And they'll be like, Dan, here's what I see about this. You know, I think that you know, if this scrape is in the timber or whatever, the scrape line, I think that deer's using daylight. You know, whether or not his bedding area is over here. Well, hunt there, take a shot.
Yep.
Find out. You know, if you believe in that, try it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yep.
You know, so that way they go, and it doesn't help anybody. And you know this as a teacher to tell a kid, no, you're wrong. That does not work.
Oh shit! I gotta stop doing that.
Right. But you know, to lead person down the path of thinking. As I like to think that I don't teach people how to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I teach them how to think. Yeah, I give a lot of tips and tactics, but I start getting them to think in a direction and start thinking outside the box. You know what I mean? I get them to start looking for different kinds of sign. Start thinking about, why does a deer bed here? Not just, oh, a deer bed's here.
Yeah, that's the
When has he
analysis.
been
You gotta, that stuff's hard to analyze because it's open end. You're asking
It gets
yourself open-ended
easier
questions.
over time, though.
Sure.
And even me, I'm getting better at it now. Reading, I'm learning things like how rubs mold, and how it tells you the timing. Where I didn't know that years ago. So I'm always trying to analyze. And if you go into, like, for me, it's all about betting, because that window of movement is always, not always, but
yeah,
most of the time is concentrated within a short distance of that bedding area. So it's all about betting. So when I go in and I look at a bedding area in spring, or even if I'm looking at it from a distance in the fall and I'm planning on hunting it, I'm asking myself, why would a deer be there? When would he be here? How would he use the wind there? And I'm asking myself all those questions to get the answers. And if you're always doing it and you're thinking about those answers and you're looking for clues to those answers, after a while, they come real easy. At first, you're going to struggle. But after a while, you start noticing things more and more in detail, like aging of the rubs, aging of the tracks, aging of the beds. Because you're looking at them in spring, they're not there. You're trying to determine what time of the year were they. And like I did these intense trail cam studies to try and figure out, when bucks bed in certain areas. And then some idiot just comes out with a drone, and but anyway,
we've talked to that guy. What's his name again?
Dixon.
Yeah.
Derek Dixon, right?
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. I was just teasing.
But it's pretty funny.
But anyways, I did all the studies and stuff and figured out that there's like a 2-week window in most of the bedding areas when they're there. And you look at this bedding area and it just looks torn up and beaten, and they're here all the time. And really, there's a timing of that. And if you think about how the season goes, how they go from, like, the acorn drop, and then then they shift from the, like, clover, and they shift off of beans as the beans yellow, and they shift to the corn, and the shifting is so constant in the fall. Week to week, it's changing. That's why they're in those bedding areas for 2 weeks, because everything changes so much, the cover and everything. And it's just these shifts. Now, there are bedding areas where they sit in there most of the season, but that's a special find.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing with those bedding areas that bucks like to use a lot. It depends on the terrain. Like a lot of, like, your marshes around egg fields, if those egg fields are harvested, they may not, whereas in the mountain country in PA or something, those bucks might have a spot that they live out all year in because the spot offers them more. Whereas maybe down by some egg land that's broken, maybe there's many opportunities and those deer moves. I think terrain plays a big role in how often there might be there, or what it affords them throughout the year.
I had a friend who he was telling me how he found this bedding area on the point of an island. It was tore up with big rubs and stuff, and he had this figured out. He's like, they're in here in early season, I can tell, just by this, that, the other thing. He says, I'm going to set up on this island, I'm going to get them this fall. He goes, it is so tore up. And he comes back and he's like, hey, there's no deer there. I don't know what happened, if somebody got in there or whatever. And he says, I went back and the rubs never opened up or nothing. So the next, like a year later, he's going through there and goes through there, and the rubs are all back.
Beans versus corn.
No, there's a big oak flat on the island. It drops
acorns.
acorns every other year.
No acorns.
Yeah. This had some sort of food.
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes it's just a little bit of using your noggin,
Yeah. Yeah. They're never always there. That's true. I've learned that. Gun hunting's a different story. I don't take it nearly as seriously because it's different reasons.
I kind of went away from the seriousness on gun hunting because it became traditional to do the deer drives. I had a good friend that really liked that. And as the kids got older and I started getting out of that serious nature, I just like doing drives with those guys. We still kill big bucks, but not like I did before that when I stalked them.
Yeah, it's different. I like the camaraderie. So I hunt the probably same spot because I'm just like, the deer move through here every year. Whether or not I'm going to be awake when that happens is a different story. But I'm like, there's hunters everywhere. Pick your freaking spot. There's guns going off, people moving around. It's like the tactics only go so far. And if we're not doing a drive on the property we hunt, it's like not going to do much. I'm just there for the fun of it.
Young Dan used to always too, like if you're coming on the drive with me, you're pushing, I'm sitting at good spots, and we'll do some pushes for you in the bad spots.
I like that.
and it's morphed into we're putting the young people and the new people and stuff and special people in the
it's like you want to have some success.
So what you value in hunting has definitely changed through the years. Yeah. Now, like you've mentioned it multiple times, but like what you're finding value in is definitely not just the bloody arrow and the buck at the end of the
Right.
blood trail, which is kind of refreshing to hear. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's
Well, you
not
can see it
everything.
in my success. I mean, I went from, killing 1 or 2 giant bucks a year to killing 1 or 2 giants every 2 or 3 years.
You're still doing pretty well, Dan.
You still got
You're still doing pretty well.
you still got the what's it, the fight in you? Like that drive
yeah.
is,
Oh yeah.
because you said before that it wasn't the buck necessarily. I mean, it was the chase of him, and once you got it,
Drive is what kills
immediately
deer. Drive is better
it
than
immediately went back to what's the next one, because you wanted that process again.
the drive kills more deer than any tactic in the world.
Yeah.
It's a matter of how much you want it.
Yep.
If you ever seen that kid that's just got it in him, nothing can stop him.
Mm-hmm.
That kid's going to kill a buck no matter what. He's just going to work until he gets one.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to that. And that's anything in life.
That's
100%.
Yes, 100%. And there's people that have the drive or don't have the drive.
It's like
can tolerate it or not.
The three of us
Yep.
are probably could all be sports stars and like maybe football, maybe basketball
Could be
or
a
something.
jockey.
Right. You're a little smaller, so yeah.
Basketball might not be right for me.
But we could, and we got the physical attributes
Sure.
to do it. We just don't have the want.
Right.
We go out and like, I can do this. But you talk to an actual NBA star or something, and he's going to tell you a story like I told you about my 30s.
Can't help
About
it.
how he
Can't turn it off.
how he was so obsessive he ignored his family and stuff. I mean, look at like Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm.
If you ever listened to his story about how he abandoned his family and stuff,
No,
they
I
put him
haven't,
through
but I'm not
college and stuff?
surprised.
Yeah, I mean, because he was so obsessive
Yep.
with the football.
I think so. In addition to regret's a different thing, because that's you analyze that typically at the end of life. I asked my grandma that question the other day because she's getting up there, and I was like, "Do you regret anything?" And the answers were like wild. I was like, I had no
regret
idea. Yeah, right. That's one of them.
Shit.
Those old people always have an attitude.
But there's yeah, she's a feisty one. She's really feisty. But there's sacrifice.
Mhm.
There's a trade-off. You want this thing that's really hard, you're not going to be able to have your cake and eat it too. And I think we're trying to do that as the modern dads or whatever. There's a little bit of cake and eat it too kind of thing happen here. I fucking want the big deer.
Mhm.
Here I kind of don't want to sacrifice that much of my kids. So like then I'm having to shape a new reality for myself.
Yeah.
And you can call that settling, but I have other ambitions.
And
this is one of them. Like, it's interesting.
The comment that I held before.
Oh, okay.
We circled back to deer, so it's all good now. But you were talking about like seeing a lot of young guys who want the big buck. They want the big buck. They buy all the shit. Like there's people who want the big buck. That's the end goal. And there's people who fucking love the challenge
Mhm.
of the big buck.
Yes.
That's why you were never satisfied, because you like the challenge of finding
Yeah.
the next one, right?
It's loving the process.
And
You
if
think
if you
as a
love-
young guy, you think I get that buck, everything's solved.
I'm fulfilled.
Right.
I'm good.
And
For
it's
a minute.
not.
For like a minute.
There are people,
Maybe half a day.
Yeah.
but there
You
are
know?
people who like they get one and like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, and they stare
They
at it
don't
on their
love-
wall
yeah.
all day. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the people who like the freaking chase, those are the ones that were worried about sacrificing family time, because you know how much it takes to freaking
Yeah.
really
That's
put
what we're trying to
yourself
talk to.
100% into the challenge.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not
Because
easy.
your
It
blinders will
requires
be
time.
on to that obsession, to that chase.
Yeah.
Mine are on with the business stuff. Like my wife the other day,
You're
she's like,
relentless.
you fucking can't turn it off. She's like, even when you're here, you're not here, because I can see it. The gears don't stop. I'm like, I'm trying. I'm trying. It's hard. I can't. She's not wrong. It doesn't mean I don't love my family. That's the other thing. But actions are louder than words. So I don't want to get to a point where my family thinks, because my actions are doing this, that it means I don't love them. Because kids spell love TIME, right?
Yeah.
That's how they spell it. That's what I've heard. That's what I think. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get to the end of all this and be like, well, he's a good fucking hunter, He had a great truck. That shit doesn't matter to me. I also want to be known as a good hunter. So it's complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated. Well, maybe the funnest one or something like that.
Funnest one.
The guy that made all the mistakes.
Yeah. Regret's a funny thing, because you wouldn't appreciate those things if you didn't have the regret.
Yep. That's
So
it. You have to have it to have it. Yeah, it's
exactly.
It's almost like God needs the devil.
So you have to do a couple things wrong to understand.
Yes.
And you can't really help some young guy that you see going down the wrong path.
He's
If
going
you
to figure it
haven't
out
been
on his
down
own.
that path.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
Now he might hear this and go, I heard them say that before. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll come after the fact. They won't stop
He's
doing
going,
what they're
yeah,
doing
but that's
because
for a
of it.
bunch of wusses.
Right.
Because you can't tell a young kid nothing, right? Like,
Pussified.
it doesn't work. Yeah, exactly. Listen to these assholes.
Part of that drive, like when I was a kid, I can remember my old man. I dragged this buck home that I shot on my own with a longbow. As a little kid.
That's so cool.
I dragged that thing home by myself, walking backwards, pulling this thing. I get it up the driveway and stuff, and I'm so proud I got this 8-point buck, and I can't wait for my dad to see this, who really never gave praise for anything, and it wasn't really his fault. It's just the way.
Yep. He's like, whatever, it's a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get him, and he comes out and he looks at that and he goes, "Guy at work shot 2 of them in one day." And he goes back in the house, get it hung up.
Brutal.
Then I shot this big 8-pointer, and he was never big about horns; he was about meat, And I got that thing home. We got it cleaned up and stuff, and I go to school and stuff. I come back, and he's like, "Hey, guy at work actually collects his antlers, and he got an 8-pointer this year, and somebody took his rack. He got stolen." So I gave him yours. Like, all right. You don't care about that stuff anyways. All right. So I was always trying to like prove to him that I was always trying to outdo, do better.
So now next time I got to get 2 in one night. Like, yeah.
Right. And literally, I don't know if that put me down a path, but I was always trying to beat that last one. I was always trying to get a buck that was big enough to be, like I'd be the man. Kind of thing,
right?
And I know how bad that sounds, and it is. You had that ego. I gotta do this. I gotta do this, and I'd do it. I'd make it, but it wasn't big enough. I had to get that bigger one, and I had to get that bigger one, and then it got to a point where I actually saw that in me, and that comes with maturity and age and stuff.
The reflection piece is not there right away for sure. It
right. You look back and
where
you're
you can be like, "What am?
Does anybody in this world care about what I accomplished? Not really." There's people that look at me and say, "Hey, he's a great hunter," but they don't know about individual sacrifices and accomplishments.
Yep.
And
they just see one side.
I always tell these kids, you could be as great a hunter as I am. It's not that hard. Just ignore your wife, ignore your kids, be a bad parent. You can get there too.
You can do it. God.
I'll send you the Dan Infalt starter pack.
Right. So it doesn't mean that I'm a better hunter than them.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a better hunter than me. They just they hunt 20 times a year because they're responsible.
Yeah. Well, my ego is still intact. And you think you have to, if I swept the floor in here today, tomorrow there'll be 20 more millipedes on the floor. And you have to do it again. Like your ego needs constant work. You don't just check it off once and then we're good now. Like you have to sweep the floor every day to keep it in check. At least that's what I've told myself. But I believe truly that if I had enough time, I could be one of the greats. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, how fucking couldn't I? If I put my mind to it and go did the thing, I'd figure it the fuck out because that's how I'm wired. And so then I get sad that I'm not doing that sometimes, like, because I have FOMO. Like I could be right there with you guys on this stuff, but I'm choosing to not. And then it eats me up sometimes.
Because when I was younger, it would drive me nuts about missing a day of hunting.
Yeah.
I would lose jobs over it. My family would sacrifice money-wise because I'd pick a place to work that didn't give a crap if I showed up.
That's pretty great.
You can go hunt whenever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a job now. They offer unlimited PTO. I put that to the test a little bit every now and again. Fortunately, the owner is a big hunter, and so is the whole damn company. So, like, they're like,
it's understood.
I'd like once you get the bug, you understand it's in your bones. You can't turn it off. And I was like, because I got to go back out tomorrow. They're like, just work from the fucking tree, dude. Bring your phone. Just check in every now and again, please. But go do it. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. Yeah. So is that good hunting? Man, probably not the best, but I got to be out there more than just sitting behind a damn desk.
Yeah, we got a little bit into ego there.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody can be a good hunter without a little bit of ego.
I think you have to.
But people look at ego as bad. Ego is good. It's what drives you.
Yep.
If you don't feel good about yourself and think that you're doing well, you're not doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a matter of keeping it tamed down.
You got to keep it. That's the part. That's the crux.
Right. You can't let it get out of hand, but you have to have a little bit of ego.
Yep.
Or you can't be, the best that you can be.
I wrote a piece called "Is there too much ego in hunting?" And I think as an industry, there's an issue there. On an individual basis, I have started to ask myself, like, well, you can't strip yourself of all your ego.
Right.
And everyone has one. It's a spectrum. But if it gets too inflated, you think you're better than and more important than, and then you start it starts feeding yourself that same truth, and then you believe it, and then you take away the ability to learn more because you already know it all. No one can be better than me. And then you start to get insecure and you're like, fuck off my spot. I can't teach you this. And then it can get too far.
Do you ever go to like a deer show where like you start talking to people and the ego gets so bad you can't handle it?
Yes.
Like
most booths, I would
everybody,
say, yes.
everybody's telling you, you know, like, hey, how's your day going? I shot this great big buck last year. Let me tell you what happened. Show you a picture of it, and it's like every person after another.
You might have a worse scenario of that because people really want to prove themselves to you because they probably find that as a way to relate. Like, damn, look at this big buck that I got.
Yeah, to some degree.
There's probably a little bit of that.
I could see that for sure.
I also get the other one where people want to tell me the story. They want to tell me how I changed something for them.
Sure.
Like that I love.
Yeah,
I love it when somebody comes to me and says,
feel like
I got this buck because of you.
There's a very specific point in my hunting career when your advice, I remember the literal moment when you were with me on the hunt in my brain. You weren't literally there, but like,
oh, I was there.
You were there. I was like, you should make a bracelet. Like, what would Dan do?
Little did you know, he was shooting 150 inch. You're about 50 yards closer to the parking lot.
Dude, he was. I sit at the edge of this point, and it was a peninsula, and at the end of that point was cattail marshes as far as the eye could see. But beyond those cattail marshes was a spot that, like, I don't think you could get to if you didn't just go into it. I was like, fuck it, I'm going Dan Infalt on this shit. And I went in, and I put myself in a buck's bedroom that I've never seen that before. It was like Twister, and they walk into the slaughterhouse, and there's weapons everywhere. Like, oh God, I am in a dangerous place. I was like, oh my God, he could come in here right now and kill me. Like, I think this is he's an angry elf. Like, it felt like I'd never witnessed that in real life before. And I had this big moment, and I was like, holy shit, how the fuck do I get out of here now? Because it was dark. And I had a buddy hunting the property with me. I was like, Mike, my phone's probably going to die. Stay by the car. Don't leave without me. I don't know how I'm going to get out of here, but it's going to be a while. Because then I beelined it straight through a different spot that I'd never been to. But that was a very specific moment when I was like, you got to go where, others aren't willing to go. And you got to put, at the time, I heard you say, like, water separates you from a lot of other pressure.
Yeah. So
I crossed some nasty shit, and lo and behold, I didn't see any boot tracks. I saw a lot of deer tracks and a lot of rubs, like a rub cluster situation. That was like so I'm telling you what you just said, other people tell you. What's that meme? Everyone always asks, how's the podcast, but not how's the podcaster? Like, how's the
podcaster doing?
How's the hunting beast doing? How are you? How's Dan?
I'm doing good.
Let's see this. They're silly.
Let me tell you about this big buck I shot.
Can I please see a map?
Just want to get your thoughts real quick.
Oh God, I bet, huh? How often does that happen?
I can hardly see anymore.
Daily?
My eyes are getting so bad.
You should say that. Oh, I don't have my glasses. Sorry.
And they'll show me a map, and the first thing you see is 7,000 points. It's like, I can't see nothing through all your markers. Well, the yellow ones are rubs, the blue ones are scrapes, and it's like.
Pierce said it well when he was like, yeah, don't show me your bag of Skittles. It looks like
That's funny. It does look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell the difference. I should do that. Skittles in hand. Be like, what's the difference between this and a non-X? Well, fucking nothing. You got to zoom in. Plus, you can eat these, and they're better.
Just that I just saw something when Aaron Warburton put up that Onyx just put a new feature in that you can press an SOS button.
I saw that.
And they'll send a helicopter out to get you for free.
Oh, that's a problem. That's gonna get accidentally pushed a lot. They're
we
gonna
might want to
regret
test that.
Yeah, I saw the SOS.
I was thinking, man, there's been some spots where I really don't want to walk out of here.
Will they take a deer with you?
Right.
If I don't have to drag, I'll swipe and pay whatever they ask.
Those videos where the deer's like, hey, no.
Rescue me and my deer.
And I'm sure they got some of them damn limits.
Yeah. The small print.
Are you doing anything like that this season, like hunting with the hunting public, or?
Yeah, we'll
like,
do a challenge this year.
Okay.
I'm not really at liberty to talk about
No,
it.
yeah,
but,
you don't have to.
But yeah, they're doing a challenge.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those are always fun to watch.
Doing a hunt in Illinois. I'm doing the Legends Camp with the Hunt Stock guys. So
Okay.
I'll be hunting with Jim Massett and a few of those guys.
Fun.
But yeah, that'll be fun.
What's your favorite part of all that?
The camaraderie.
Yeah.
I mean, we all stay in the same house and stuff. And last year it was Lanny Benoit and Ricky, and all those guys, and it's just a blast, just a riot. They had 2 stocked refrigerators, one completely from the top to bottom with craft beer, and nobody drank a one. and they had a fridge stacked with food, and then they just had snacks everywhere. And Lanny Benoit is the funniest dude ever. He would follow me around, and I'd be like, "Oh, a Slim Jim," because they had this big box of Slim Jim. I started opening up, and he comes over, and he goes, "You know what's in that? They'll kill you." And then while you're eating it, he's reading it. You even know what that word is?
Holy shit! It's a process. They ain't gonna kill me.
The dude's this big, and he's telling me to eat healthy. And then
He cares
glad
about
you're so
you, Dad.
concerned.
He
And then,
cares.
like, the next day, I come walking down the stairs, and he's eating a Slim Jim, and he's like,
Yeah, don't you see that?
It was all that was left.
That's funny.
That sounds like a blast.
"Yeah, it was a fun time. I mean, a lot of conversations, a lot of stories and stuff that would never be said online and stuff.
That's the best part. When this shit's not on and that's not rolling, and there's no pressure to do stuff. Well, I have to imagine with the THP guys, they probably got someone with a camera somewhere. But when those aren't on, you can just kind of like loosen the belt a little bit, and be with your pals. Like, that's awesome.
Enjoy a damn Slim Jim.
Yeah,
The hunting public guys are just awesome. I mean, when you hunt with those guys, they're just like they are on film, off film. And like last year when I hunted with them, I shot that real big 8-pointer, and I let them know I shot it, and that I wasn't going to make it to breakfast or whatever. And then I was like, well, I don't know. It looked like I might have hit it back. I'm going to wait a little bit. They all insisted on coming with me. Not that they had to.
No.
They all wanted to be there for it, which is cool.
They're regular dudes.
They're still
There's no
hunting and
acting.
stuff.
They're not reading off a fucking script.
They could have just went out to their spots, and I'd have been fine getting a deer out.
Well, they realized that part is
That's the part. That's the best part.
right? Like the enjoying it.
You call me and Tyler to come help you drag a
That's the
deer.
part.
A lot of that isn't on film. It's not so that they can get views.
It's the
But
moment.
that's the part is like
Right.
celebrating it with your camp, your friends.
You know,
your
Greg
buddies.
and Aaron get a little teary eyed and like, man, this is really cool. And it's like it's good shit. Those guys are
great.
nice guys.
That's
I
great, man.
love the time with them.
That's
cool.
freaking awesome.
I told them, if they ever want to hunt with us, I promise it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I guarantee
they got to
we
get
won't be
bombarded.
successful.
Oh, I can't imagine.
I've got 1/8 of what they've got of followers.
It's crazy.
And for me, the message that I get daily, people, hey, would you like to come hunt with me? I don't even know you.
No, it is a little awkward.
And I don't mean that to be mean.
No, I know,
No,
but
but
like,
it's
think about it for a
weird.
second. It's like dating. Like, you can't just go up. Hey, do you want to come meet my parents? Whoa. No, I don't want to do that.
I'll say something like in a podcast, I'll say, you know what? I would really love to someday go hunt Sitka deer. And I'll get 20 people send me invites to hunt with. I'm not going to go stay with your family. I don't know your family.
Yeah, I'm going to freak them out, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little over the boundary.
I don't even want to stay with people I know.
We even get a little bit of that. And I'm like, that seems so nice. And I get worried, like, what if I turn down? They're going to track me down?
Yeah.
They can feel offended if I don't respond.
Do you ever get any weird people? Weird
There's
trackers?
been a couple. I mean,
Stalkers?
part of the reason there's no like specific acute thing, but a little bit of that. My wife was getting a lot easy with a lot of like randos coming to our house,
Mhm.
To record.
Yeah. Well, there was a dude that we buddied up with a little bit in the past, and I mean, this is all public information. I'm not saying that it's not known, but like he had like got drunk and like not only raped a girl but beat her.
Mhm.
And he's in prison, I think, for like the rest of his life. I'm like, no one knew that that's who that guy was.
Mhm.
No one, you just don't know. So I don't know. I'm like, you can come here,
When
like not to my house.
when
You
I
know what
shot
mean?
the Rome Legend buck, that was back in the CDBD days,
Mhm.
and that was my second bow buck that was Pope and Young that year on public land.
Mhm.
And we had some neighbors who the man of the house's brothers were both in prison for various things multiple times, and they were out and on parole, and he wouldn't let them live in his house because he didn't trust them. He let them live in his garage.
Okay.
And those guys kept confronting me. They kept accusing me of like trespassing on their land. There was like on their brother's land, there's like a channel of public, and it's marked, it's public land. I'm like, it's marked public. And they're like, yeah, but it's wrong. I'm like, okay. So I just went in a different way. They started showing up at my house and asking my wife questions about it and stuff. And then they were intimidating my kid and yelling at him about like,
That's
your
crossing
dad,
a bit of a line.
your dad shot $2. This is bullshit. You tell him we want to talk to him about it or whatever. But they'd never come around when I'm there. Like they'd look for the truck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And my kid goes up to the truck and he says, Dad, they had a gun sitting on the seat. Like a handgun.
Yeah.
You know, and then my wife said they came over and they were screaming at her, pounding on the door, come on out here and stuff. And then they confronted her at a gas station and cornered her and said they were going to kill me and all kinds of crap. And just over me killing a freaking deer.
Did they ever get
Some
reprimanded?
disturbed people, obviously.
Well,
These guys had something wrong with them.
I got some friends who are in the police department. I didn't call the police, but I called them, told them what was going on, or him.
Yeah.
Told him what was going on, and he went and took care of it. They actually had warrants, so it was pretty easy.
Worked out, win-win.
But
when it's your freaking
sketch.
family, dude.
That makes you really think about, why am I going public with all this crap? You know?
Yeah.
But then you know, the trouble is, you know, and the hate that we get.
There's so much hate.
Right. And what are we doing that is so bad, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, it's jealous little fools that can't handle that we're doing well.
Yeah.
You know, is what it is. But you get these blinders, and a lot of people can't take it, where you just see the hate. And you have to be able to step back and say, that's 3 people.
Correct.
It's not the whole. You don't see
right.
the 1,000 people that send you the message that says, I really love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you. You helped me. You see the 3 that hate you.
It's always the 1% that'll ruin this shit, though. Like,
you know what I do now? Anybody who's full of hate like that, ban, delete.
Yeah, just out. We're done. We've banned and deleted
and
a
if
few
everybody
people.
did that, it would stop.
Yeah.
That's the proverbial, like when I was a kid, if everybody was within your range.
Yeah.
If somebody talked to you like that, you punched them in the nose.
Punch them in the face. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that would stop it.
Yeah.
So the only thing we have with these people that don't live next to you.
Just cut the oxygen
is
out
just
of it.
cut them off.
Yeah.
And if you cut them off, like I cut them off, then they got no place to go. So they go to you cut them off. They go to the next. But people just don't do it. They just ignore them.
It's like the naughty kid in class. In the schoolroom, what do they want? They don't want to be right. They want the power struggle. They want you to squirm in front of everyone. They want that comment. They want you to reply to the hateful comment. And then they want to pull you in. It's the power struggle. That's what it is.
Right.
They don't give a shit if they're right or wrong. They just want to frickin' fight with somebody.
What's that?
Exactly.
The line from The Dark Knight?
That's why
Some people just want to watch.
It shuts them
yeah,
up.
right.
Yeah, that's what you should do with your kids.
Oh, I heard about a principal once.
right here.
I appreciate you taking time. Hopefully, I don't think it was too far for you to get here.
No, it's like 16 minutes.
That's not bad at all. I'm right down the road on the way here. A nice velvet buck across the road on the main strip from that little wood patch.
Did you make a point?
He's probably like a nice, slightly outside of the ears. Just caught him trying to cross. I didn't get him when he crossed over. Once he was in the shadow of the woods, it was not visible. But I was like, oh, they're moving in daylight.
Yeah.
He was coming to visit Dan. He was like, well, I heard Dan's coming.
There's a deer outside just knocking on the window. That's pretty funny. No, cool. I don't think I have too much else. I mean, we can do this again at some point. You're gonna be a busy guy. Hunting season's right around the corner. So
yeah.
Good luck with the bear tags, man.
Yeah, send a photo if you get one.
All right. Yeah.
Love
Pretty much after this weekends, it's just gonna be solid hunting until January.
It's awesome. Living the life. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm good. David, did we miss anything? Just don't have words over there. You have a mic.
No, we didn't miss anything.
Got it.
Sorry, I always mute myself because I'll make weird noises.
She starts breathing into the freaking mic all weird. No, cool. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, guys, gals, we'll be back next week, Tuesday, at regular time. I think we have a bit of a number of guests coming through. Thanks for everyone that came to our seminar last week, and that was really exciting and fun. It sounds like people got a lot out of it. We've been getting a bunch of emails like, this is great, worth the 5-hour drive. So we did something right there. Hopefully we can live up to whatever hype that was and do another one that's good. We'll continue to do more. They are a lot of work. They're a lot of planning and preparation. We got to give people enough time between like when the thing's going to happen to fill the seats, to plan for the food. I did a shitty job on the food. I didn't know what I didn't know, but 30 half sandwiches isn't enough for 12 people. I thought it was going to be double. I was like, oh, we're good. Feedback overall is great. So I think, we're in a position to do the thing now. So if you have any ideas or you want to hear from someone or something or whatever, we're open to taking that feedback. Just know there's only a couple of us and we're all doing this part-time. So we can only do so much, but we'll do our best. I don't think I have anything else. You have a dropping pins coming up?
Yep.
Okay. That'll be back on next week? this
Yeah,
week, maybe?
well, we're recording tomorrow. DJ Riley from Michigan.
Cool.
really
Were you
good
on
guy.
his, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So now I snagged him to jump on us.
Smart. Good times. All right.
Thank you very much, Dan,
Thanks,
for
Dan.
coming.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Yeah, you
This
bet.
is fun.
I hope it was. Good.
Mm.
Thanks, David.